Hello everyone, welcome back to Mobility at Work, and I'm Hani, your host for today. This podcast is powered by CIDES and sponsored by Asper. Asper offers the most powerful, advanced, and secure device management solutions for Android dedicated devices. Meet us to experience the magic of Asper at the Smart Nation Expo and Forum at stand number B8148. All right, today we meet again at Mobility at Work. So this time we'll be joined by a guest speaker from CyberSecurity Malaysia. Mr. Fathi Kamil is here with us today and will be sharing with us about Together to be a better cyberpreneur as our topic for today. First of all, thank you so much, Mr. Fathi, for taking your time to talk in our podcast for today. How are you?
I'm fine. Thanks for inviting me for this session.
Okay. All right, sure, no problem. Thank you so much. Before we continue, could you please tell us a bit about yourself and your background?
Okay, so my name is Fathi Kamil. So I'm in charge of MyCERT operation. So usually in our operation, people will report if there is any cyber incident to us, and then we will assist on how to solving the cyber incident, and we offer it to the public.
The Seasons of Mobility at Work podcast is sponsored by Asper. Please stay tuned for more content about managing your business with technologies with us.
All right, thank you so much for a brief introductions of yourself. So back to the topic that you'd like to share with us today. I believe that all of us quite noticed that in today's computerized world, new risks emerge every hour of every day, right? So connecting to the internet opens up the possibility of a hacker targeting our organization. So could you please tell us more about what are the types of cyber threats that the companies commonly face and how to identify and address them?
Okay. As of current, usually people complaining, reporting to us through Cyber 999, and then there is 4 major incidents that they reported to us, which is related to data leakage, and then network compromise through vulnerability system, and then ransomware and mobile malware.
All right. All right, I see. All right, thank you so much. From what you have mentioned just now, could you also share with us what are the most vulnerable areas to cyber attacks and how do actually they work?
Okay. While most of the enterprise organizations have been equipped with the security mechanism, with a good cyber security policy, the most vulnerable area to cyber attack is people for me. And then because of they are exposed to phishing attack such as malicious URL and also malicious document. So the example of the malicious URL that the attacker send it to the victim, which is they're providing the similar page with the corporate portal, and then based from there, they can steal the username password when the victim try to enter using password. And then secondly, through the given malicious URL, actually the browser from the victim PC basically is there is a vulnerable in the browser, and then that vulnerable has been exploited and then injected with the malicious payload, or we call it as a malware. And then the third one, this is the current issue, which is the attacker is sending an URL to the mobile user, and then from there, the mobile user click on the URL and then download the malicious mobile malware on their phone, and then their phone is indirectly being compromised, and then can be accessed by the attacker. And then for the malicious document, they are embedding the malicious code in the document. And then from there, when the victim try to open the document, and then it will execute the payload sent by the attacker, and then the attacker have access if the affected PC has already inside the organization. And then afterwards, based from this entry point, they can do further compromise inside the organization network, and then to make their persistency inside the organization network. And then some of the payload which is related to ransomware, and then most of the significant attack nowadays is related to the ransomware, and then from the ransomware attack makes the operation down, and then they cannot make a normal operation inside the organization. And then some SME, even though they are protected with the cybersecurity technologies, they do not monitor their security device. Thus, any successful intrusion after bypassing security device will not be realized by the organization. Then some of them also do not have proper processes and technical skill when encountering cyber incidents, such as keeping logs in a separated system, such as log management, and they could not identify the root cause of the incident to remediate the situation. Then under technology, most SME during our previous assessment, they are not protected with security technology to protect them from cyber threat. So they are exposed to any cyber attack from external sources, maybe because of the budget, and they want to focus on the IT operation. And then furthermore, they only relying on the traditional antivirus technology, while traditional antivirus technology is based on signature-based detection, which means that the AV keep existing or recent malware information database for detection and prevention. Therefore, any new malware or even specific targeted attack towards organization will not be detected and prevented. Some recent cases related to financial institution also couldn't identify the malware backdoor. Might be because of they only relying on the AV technology. So they couldn't detect any new malware which is not in the list of their database. Okay.
All right. So one of the best ways for businesses to protect themselves against this threat is to have a comprehensive set of security tools in place, right? So I could say that no cybersecurity mechanism is foolproof and can ever be. In terms of technologies itself, do you think that we have any kind of software and technologies that could help to tackle the attacks? Is it impossible to create a system immune to malware, or if there is any program or software that could assist in simulating cyber attacks, identifying vulnerabilities, and implementing countermeasures?
Okay. Right now there are no known solution. Sorry. Until right now there are no known solution or system to protect an organization from malware attack completely. So as of now, as an example, there are security protection on several layers inside an organization. Not only one layer, but there are several layers of security protection inside an organization, such as on the endpoint side, protected by antivirus or EDR technology, and from the network layer, protected by IPS, firewall or next-gen firewall, unified threat management, or NDR technology. Even though the organization is protected by multiple layers of protection, it usually comes back to people as a weak point of attack when they simply bypass company policy, such as opening a malicious document, and they become an entry point of an attacker to enter the organization with or without user notice. And then my second point is to raise security awareness and to ensure every organization readiness towards most cyber threats. CSM and other IT security industry also offer cyber drill exercise. In this exercise, it simulates cyber attack, and we are assessing on their cyber incident handling process and technical knowledge on analyzing cyber incident Then the outcome of the exercise will assist organization to improve their current processes and technical skill. Then the third point is to identify vulnerability and implement countermeasure. We recommend that organization perform regular security posture assessment to identify risks and security loopholes in an organization information asset, and also to remediate based on the assessment outcomes. There are several tools outside there for both commercial, free, and open source. For SME, maybe they have some their budget limit. As a starting point, they can look into tools such as OpenVAS or Open Vulnerability Assessment Scanner, Skipfish, OPT for vulnerability assessment, and Metasploit, WA3F, and SQL Map for part of a penetration testing activity. They may perform the activity from both outside and inside the organization network. So that is my suggestion.
All right, thank you. So is it possible to have multiple factor authentications itself? If yes, how so, and how can we actually to prevent that?
Okay, before that, I want to mention that multi-factor authentication is a good security practice to be implementing in a protected system. And then furthermore, usually the second factor authentication password is kept differently from the first authentication device and generate different randomized number in certain time duration. Usually, the second factor authentication system is installed on mobile device, and therefore there were at least two types of potential threats for attacking system with multi-factor authentication. So this is my point for the potential threats for multiple factor authentication. So the first point is the threat actor attack mobile device by compromising through phishing attack, and might also including enforcing malware installation on mobile device. For this kind of attack, firstly, we should not share the generated number to any person or even our family. The attacker might impersonate as our nearest family. Secondly, we should not install any mobile application from outside official mobile marketplace, such as Google Play Store or Apple Store. Thirdly, please ensure the device keep up to date in order to keep a device from vulnerable to attack. Okay. Every successful authentication, including system implemented multi-factor authentication, hold a session key, usually kept in the browser, and can also be transferred through the network. The attacker can retrieve the session key from the victim PC or by tapping on the organization network. So for this kind of attack, users should regularly update existing antivirus and operating system to ensure our operating system should not have any vulnerability, and also our antivirus can detect the latest virus or malware. Furthermore, please do not proceed with any website with certificate error. Usually, the internet browser will prompt for certificate error and asking the user whether to proceed or not. But if the user still click the proceed button, the account might have been compromised by the attacker and can be taken over by the attacker.
The Seasons of Mobility at Work podcast is sponsored by Asper. Please stay tuned for more content about managing your business with technologies with us.
All right, nice to learn about that, Mr. Fathi. So many SMEs believe that most cyber attacks only happen to large organizations, right? But is this true, or are SMEs immune?
So all digital users are exposed to cyber attack. So not only they are attacking towards the large organization. So SME also, most of SME users are also a digital user. And then one of the cyber attack is the ransomware attack can be happen to all the digital user, including SME And also, university student also have experience with it. Therefore, SME not immune to the cyber attack.
All right, it can seem that a difficult task to keep the track of all the network security threats that are out there and the ones that just keep emerging. So perhaps you could share with us what are the challenges and the practices to help SMEs to mitigate them.
Okay, for SME, my point is CSM has released cybersecurity guideline to all digital users at the CSM portal, firstly, in the knowledge bank section. There are also a list of guidelines for SME. The specific document name for SME is Information Security Guideline for Small, Medium, and Enterprise. Inside the document, there are 5 pillars relevant to the SME, which is consists of, firstly, is attack protection, which is a defined assets and organization to protect include backup and recovery, protecting assets such as workstation, servers, and network. Then second pillar is incident detection. Based on organization budget, investing on security device such as host-based protection, like antivirus, EDR, on network base, which is firewall. For SME, they have an option for the open source solution such as Endian, ClearOS, Untangle, and then there is an option for DNS Secure, which is they can look into Pi-hole. Then for the IPS, they can refer to tool like Suricata and also Snot. And then third pillar is on the incident response. Basically, there are 6 steps mentioned in the document. Firstly, preparation, and then identification, then containment, then eradication, then recovery, and lesson learned. So CSM or other cybersecurity training or certification bodies also have a program on how to handle cyber incident response. And then the other 2 are documentation and prevention. So they can refer to the CSM portal to find out in details. Other than that, they can also refer to another security guidelines from another Malaysia regulatory authority as well.
Yep, correct. Organizations need to spend their focus more on discovering the hidden knowledge behind the voluminous data to produce an effective cyber attack distributions, right? Alright guys, we are going to continue discussing about this in the next episode. We'll be talking about the effective ways of using cyber threat intelligence, which is CTI, in their security posture to attribute cyber attacks. So make sure to stay tuned. I'm Honey and thank you for listening to Mobility at Work.